Hey Trevor, how you doing, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Good, good, good. How's your week been so far? You ready for Christmas and shit?
My week's moving pretty slow here, honestly, but yeah, I'm ready for Christmas. I got all my Christmas shopping dialed in finally, and that stress is over with, so that's good.
It's good to see you embracing all things Yuletide for your upcoming stream. Like the thing that this year has really stood out when it comes to these streams is when people have had ideas above just, hey, we're just some dudes on a stage. You've always been known for thinking outside of the box and doing weird shit. I'll call a spade here. So where did this come? Where did the idea come from, and how has it been putting it all together? You must have had a blast with the merch bundles.
Yeah, dude, it's been a lot of fun. It's something that we thought up very quickly and we put into action about a week later. So we were really just like spitballing all these ideas together. And, we're still kind of Frankensteining the end of it together here now, but it's coming out really awesome, man. It's been a real blast. And, we had a lot of pressure from the label to do a stream, and they kept coming, and emailing me about it every week. And, it just feels like something that was necessary since we can't get out and tour on this new record. At least we can play some new songs for the people, and there's a lot of laughs to be had in there. Obviously, we are weirdos, and we definitely let it hang out on this one. I definitely got so trashed on one of the days where I'm not sure what I'm gonna see in the video until I see it.
I think that it's testament to if they were having to convince you to do this thing, was that why there's things like skits involved and all and things other than just, I mean, like, when someone goes live on Instagram Live and you're like, I am never going to click that. When bands have been doing streams, at this point in time, it's felt like they need something above and beyond, hi, we're going to be here playing some songs.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we definitely came into it with like a creative slant and like trying to do something a bit different and show our personality, and we've had a lot of success with the two DVDs that we've done in the past. So we were kind of trying to like match that energy of having the weirdness of Majesty in particular that was such a hit with the kids. And yeah, dude, I'm really proud of what we've done. The music portion sounds great. We filmed in four different locations, and each one is cooler than the last. And yeah, there's a lot of funny stuff. I mean, I'm in the rabbit suit from Christmas Story at one point, and yeah, there's all kinds of carnage, and I think kids are gonna like it for sure. So,
Are you Christmas people, Trevor?
I mean, I'm not religious, but yeah, I have a lot of fond memories associated with Christmas. Not the whole Christian aspect of it,
Oh
but the
yeah,
kind of
yeah, yeah.
family gathering aspect of it. And yeah, it just seemed like the perfect backdrop to do our, particular brand of BDM idiocy. You know what I mean? So,
So when it comes to new records, like just in raving about your band before it coming to this phone call, like the thing that really stands out about the Black Dahlia murder is consistency for me. Like there's an Eminem line that's you're not even impressed no more, you're used to it. And I feel like when a new Black Dahlia record comes around, there's always a look. There's always a very visual aspect to what defines that particular release. When it's 2020 and Verminous is coming out, what were the feelings going into this one? Because in my opinion, even as a long-term fan, Nightbringers is my favourite Black Dahlia record. So to still be churning stuff out of that quality, what was the feeling and the vibe going into Verminous?
it was exciting. It was exciting to have Brandon be along for a second album and kind of have him more settled into the band. And he definitely put way more of his touch on this album, way more of his personal flavor. And, he oversaw the recording of most of it, not the drums, but he recorded all of us at his place in New Jersey, all the strings, all the vocals. And, we just had more added control this time. But, it was intimidating to go after after Nightbringers and the success of Nightbringers, and you know we put so much blood and sweat into that album too. And initially, you know, tiptoeing into writing new stuff, it was definitely intimidating. But I feel like it's a different animal altogether, though. Verminous, you know, it's a little bit more. I want to say pulled back. Like it's kind of weird to say it's a little less extreme than Nightbringers, you know, where
Yeah.
Nightbringers is often like going for the throat. There's a bit more groove on this one, a bit more. We played a lot with songwriting and different songwriting ideas, and you know, we were trying to be more accessible, but without like doing a sellout move. You know what I mean? Like still be more musical as a band, still be catchier, more hooks, but you know, we want to be an extreme band. We don't have any plans to abandon the blueprint that we set out to do in 2001. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it was exciting from the ground up, but the pressure was there, definitely responding to Nightbringers and all of the accolades from that record. And you know, I still love that record. I feel like that, in particular, is a turning point for our band. You know, into like a new era, and the Verminous is kind of a continuation of that. You know, we took the creative ideas of Verminous and all the new stuff we were doing and just kind of pushed it even further. You know what I mean? Like just really trying to do new sounds, new time signatures, new grooves, just really trying to make an album that has individuality between the songs, you know what I mean? It's really stand out. And yeah, I feel like we've done that, you know? And yeah, I'm really proud. But it's definitely been weird to be trapped inside after during this whole cycle so
Yeah,
far.
man.
So we haven't gotten to play, well, we played one show where we played 2 songs from Verminous before this whole shutdown. And that was when we were in South Africa. And by the time we had flown back, everything was locked down. So
Brutal.
it's definitely weird to not be out there playing these songs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even in the video that we just shot, even the special, like we barely played those songs, you know what I mean? It's it was nice. It was nice to like celebrate the album for a second, and it's very cool to have this Yule Em All thing coming down the pipes to keep people pumped, you know.
When you talk about accessibility on Verminous and it being a conscious thing this time out, did you try anything that you were like, yeah, that's a step too far? Or was there anything that was put onto the table that you were like, yeah, that is outside of the boundaries? Because, like, let me put it this way. Like, if you turned up with auto-tuned clean vocals, Trevor, we'd all find where you live and murder you, right? So right. Where is that line?
Right. And, you know, and I have no attraction to making our band that brand of accessible, you know what I mean? It's really just about having better hooks and just things that will, like, barbs that will hook into people's mind, hopefully, and just keep them coming back to the songs. But there were a couple moments where I had a little bit of trepidation. There's a lot more like rock and roll kind of feel injected into some of these songs. And when we first started closing the hi-hat and shit, that's when I got a little nervous. I was like, wow, this is some wild shit for Black Dahlia Murder, you know? But there's some King Diamond type stuff in one of the songs. There's a lot more classic metal kind of injected in it, and that's definitely Brandon's love and like his thing, you know what I mean? Like he is the youngest guy in the band, but he's weirdly like the oldest soul in the band, and the kind of music that he takes influence from and what he likes personally is just way different than your usual, you know, 27-year-old. So that's him, man. That's him coming into the fold a bit more. And this record has a little bit of a rock injection to it, you know? So when I first heard that hi-hat closing, I was like, wow, man, this is some shit right here. We're going into AC/DC mode.
You wait till the next record where he's playing guitar solos on a fucking mountaintop.
yeah, we're almost there. We're getting there, dude. And I feel like the solo quality is kind of getting to that mountaintop quality, man.
Loads of character and personality in there, man. Loving it. So I guess with it being end of the year stuff as well, like I was just telling everyone about your column, the Obituarist that you do, and that there's like, while this year has pretty much sucked ass for everyone everywhere, like the art that has been put out has been really fucking great, especially across rock and metal. I think we've had a really good year across the board, and with you being one of the leading voice in Extreme, Are there any bands that are going under the radar somewhat? I was very overjoyed to see you say positive things about Necrot and about Undeath, which I know that has got a lot of people excited because it's a grimy form of death metal that has really not only got people excited, but people are buying that record as well. Like, the support on the ground for Undeath is really impressive.
Ah, yeah, that's cool, man. Both of those are in my top 10 for this year for sure. Um, I feel like they're kind of the leaders of their pack of young people getting into old school death metal and kind of like focusing on atmosphere above like technicality, like it's a total return to death metal's initial statement of the demo era of just making basically horrific music, making this atmosphere that makes people like, ugh, you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
And
The production is really cavernous as well, like
mhm,
really uncomfortable listen.
right. And like those bands are definitely on the up and they're kind of like leading the charge, I feel like, for their whole scene, which is really awesome to see. And I knew it was coming, man. I knew both of those bands were going to blow up. When we first played with Necrot, that was like really eye-opening. I was like, yo, this band is going places. And I went to see Undeath at their very first show in Brooklyn and befriended them that day. And that's kind of how I ended up singing on the album and stuff. But yeah, I knew then too. I was like, yeah, this band is going places. And I think maybe the prosthetic um, contract was like in the works by then, but they didn't tell me or anything. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it was very smart on both parties. Prosthetic is a cool label. Obviously, we know EJ very well. He's our manager as well as being one half of Prosthetic. So yeah, man, it's really cool to see Undeath getting all these eyes on them, and it's good for the entire extreme scene to have more grimy bands and to have more eyes towards extreme stuff. I think it's good for all of us. All the way down. I think it opens the door so the more death metal, the more extreme shit that people get into. I think it's good for this entire climate of heavy music. So.
Do, do you think that has Extreme had a good year? Because Extreme Metal's a place that I visit rather than I live. Like the Imperial Triumphant was in my top 5 record because I
Hmm.
love the fact that they have made extreme music being about being fucking terrifying as much as it is about how fast and hard that you can play. So has extreme music had a good 2020?
Oh, I think so. I think that just tons of great albums have come out. I don't think that COVID has really slowed extreme music, because it's more of a labor of love, I think. And I don't think that COVID stopped a lot of basement bands. You know what I mean? I think they kind of just kept on trucking, and I appreciate that. They've a lot of great music came out. Um, I've been kind of like doing a lot of retail therapy, you could say, during this.
Yeah.
God, I must have bought at least around like 200 CDs, probably 100 shirts, man. So I think I single-handedly saved the U.S. postal system,
Someone had to this
when
year.
that was incorrect. So honestly, like I'm always collecting, I'm always buying tons of shit, but this was just kind of the perfect vacation from reality for me to like really hone in on stuff and really listen to it. And yeah, that Imperial Triumphant is near the top of my list as well. I love that. I've had my eyes on those guys since about 2010, and it's really cool to see them on Century and doing so well. And Defeated Sanity, I have to say, is probably the most extreme thing that I have in my top 10.
I don't know Defeated Sanity. Who are they?
They are the kings, the absolute kings of brutal death metal the world over. Basically, the entire brutal death metal scene watches them to see what they're going to do next because they're always pushing the envelope. When you think brutal death metal, you don't think of the most creative genre, like you don't think of progressive necessarily, but
Yeah.
they are that. They are really artful band. They're very talented, and they've just taken the genre to new heights. And the last 10 years, I feel like there's been a lot of bands coming down the pipes influenced by Defeated Sanity, even. So, like, they have made a stamp on the genre. They've changed the face of the genre, and they dropped the Sanguinary Impetus on Willowtip Records this year, and it might be their best record, man. And that is no small feat, because I often wrestle with myself about which one of theirs is my favorite, because they're gods in my eyes, man. This band is it, dude. It's a little bit like jazz fusion-y at times. Like
Love
there's
that shit.
some really impressive chops in this band, and but it's brutal as fuck too, man. You know, there's no
Yeah.
no holds barred brutality. So I highly recommend everybody out there that's curious at all about brutal death metal to check out Defeated Sanity.
Do you want to recommend another couple of names just while you've got a Knotfest sized platform here?
Yeah, of course, man, of course. Here, let me just check my little notes here. Gargoyle with no E, the new Gargoyle record. It's Dave from Revocation, his new like pet project. He doesn't sing though; he just plays guitar. And the singer is this guy Luke from this band Ayahuasca. And the sound of this band is like nothing I've ever heard. It's somewhere between Alice in Chains and black metal.
Fucking
So
hell.
it has like virus kind of chords to it, like really jangly, weird, like Ved Bowen's End kind of chords, and a really haunting vocal that's very Lane Staley-esque. And there's a lot of progressive stuff in Gargoyle too. A little bit of King Crimson in there. It's a musician's kind of band, you know what I mean? It's really progressive and really like thought-provoking stuff. And yeah, that's been one of my favorites of the year. You know, even though Dave's one of my best friends, it's just completely unbiased. I mean, it's just one of the most refreshing things I've heard in a fucking minute. So, yeah, Gargoyle, self-titled on Season of Mist, man. Pick that up. It's really good.
That sounds so up my street. Trevor, congratulations again on another wicked 2020. The album fucking slams. I love the fact that you do things that are innovative, like fucking selling RPG games with your album bundles and not content to just do a stream. We're doing a Christmas stream where you can burn the fucking house down. That's next Friday, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, December 18th. It launches, but it'll be up for 48 hours, so you guys in the UK can check it out too, or anywhere else in the world. So get those tickets now, man. It's only $10, and it's over an hour of music and laughs. You guys will like it for sure.
Fuck yeah, Trevor. Take care. I'll see you soon, man.
Thanks for having me. Much love.
Pleasure as always, man. See you in a bit, Trev. Bye.